Yo, what up YouTube? Topaz Yates back with another live from the underground. Here we go in on particular topics that's going on in the music industry, man. And we're coming in hot because we got a lot of things to talk about today, man. So first, let's go ahead and jump off from the very top, man. Maino. He likes to role play as a runaway slave with his white women. This is an actual thing that has just came out. And keep in mind, this is the type of rapper that finds success in the music industry. We see it all too often. It's like Maino, he may not be popping like that no more, but he still does have a relationship with Atlantic Records, a relationship with Universal Records, a relationship with Motown Records. And if you think these people didn't already know about all of this types of stuff before they went on ahead and could have invested like millions into him, then you are mistaken. See, it's a lot like the NFL draft. You feel me? When they decide that they're going to select somebody to be part of their team, they do the due diligence. They don't have like a whole draft where they see, oh, are you fast? Are you on the 40-yard dash? Can you catch the ball? Can you do all of these little things? It's not like that. But yet they will go through everything that they have on you in order to determine a profile if you fit in on what they're trying to put out there. And with there being so many rappers out here, like everybody and they mama wants to rap, they just want an opportunity. You feel me? They have the pick of the litter. They can choose whoever they want to choose in order to go ahead and put them on, because the options are limitless. So therefore they can be picky and say, okay, I only want people that's going to sell out the masses, that's going to follow our agenda. Somebody that would, I don't know, be in the slave play. That person would be good for a record deal. Oh, how's about somebody who buck danced in front of all the white executives in order to get the deal, like Bobby Schmurda? Or how's about somebody that we can blackmail because we have videos of them doing something, like Isaiah Rashad? As I am on record saying that whole video with Isaiah Rashad, that's funny business, bro, because you don't make a tape and shout somebody out on the tape unless that's somebody that's going to watch the tape. You feel me? He did that deliberately, filmed himself deliberately so that he can get into the music industry, because that's what these people are looking for. The only way to get around this would be if you are popping enough that you can make your own demands, make your own deal. But instead of that, what are we getting? For the most part, we're getting a Benzino who just got outed, for those of you who didn't see that, for his trans companion. Like, there's a video of his trans companion talking kind of liberal about being with Benzino. Something that 50 Cent, 50 is going to get in. 50 is going to mock anybody in any which way, and that's just giving him more ammunition, because everybody within Shady Aftermath, they really cannot stand him. But again, prerequisites. But I know some of you might be wondering, why is this even such a big deal? You feel me? Like, what happens in the bedroom should stay in the bedroom, right? Well, first, I agree to a degree, but Maino was the one who offered this information. This information just came out of the blue. In an interview that he had, I guess this was him trying to get some attention for himself. Like, this is a cool thing to say when it's not. Like, especially when you look at his tattoos. You can't see it on this artwork here, but he got a tattoo that says "Born a Slave," like blood of a slave, live as a king, born a slave, blood of a king, or something along that matter. But he got tattoos like that to make it seem like he's down for the home team, for the squad, like he's down for black people. But yet in his personal life, he's doing this nonsense. But this ain't even all of the detail that he was saying. For those of you who didn't watch the interview, what he said specifically is, I like it as a fetish. Well, he didn't say specifically fetish, but he said he likes it when women call him the N-word while whipping him, his white women. Are you kidding me? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the viral video of the dude that was like he had a wedding reception with a white woman, and he came out. Matter of fact, the best way to show, I gotta show you this one, dog. This one is ridiculous. Let me pull this one up actually. Give me 1 second. There we go. Let me show you this. Watch this. You see this black dude right here? This is the wedding reception. Watch what this dude does, man. On your knees at your own wedding reception, walking around with a leash on your neck. Cause you married this white woman? Let's look at this. Let's look at this white chick to begin with. This is the most trashiest white woman that I've ever seen in my life. She got away in the 200s. Tattoos, which is all over her. Bruh, this is like the ultimate red flag of a white woman. Who does this at your own wedding reception, bro? It's hard for me to watch. It's really hard for me to watch. But this is what Maino is about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what a lot of these dudes is about. Who want to get put on in the record labels, who want to get put on in the game, and they honestly do get put on in the game. This is what a lot of these dudes out here that only want to date white women, this is what they are about, fam. Can you, bruh, this is an utmost disgrace. Let me get this up off of this, bruh. I don't even want to see that no more, man. Let's take that off all the way. But that's what this Maino role play is all about. It's the same thing as what this guy did. This is not how men get respect in relationships. This is how you become Will Smith. Yes, I said it. Like, do you guys even know exactly what slave play is? They actually made this into an actual play that you can go out and see in New York and all of that stuff, where like they tried to sexualize the plantation. Bruh, there was nothing to fantasize about in slavery, bruh. Haven't you ever watched Roots? I actually sat up and spent multiple weeks watching Roots from beginning to end during this pandemic because we've had nothing else to do. That's the most realistic depiction of what it's like being on a plantation as a slave. Nothing about this is cool. There's nothing cool about children being raped. Nothing cool about slaves being held against their own will. Getting their teeth knocked out. Getting their feet chopped off because they tried to run away from getting beaten and raped by these slave masters. Men and women getting raped by the male slave masters. White women claiming to be raped but they were the ones who was forcing themselves on the slaves, and they end up getting the slaves lynched. Nothing was cool about any of this, but yet they want to make it into a slave play. All of this trivializes and shows us that these are the people out here, man, that are not on your side. Like Maino, for example. Could you trust Maino to do anything for black people, knowing his actual get down now? Like, okay, if we're actually going to get reparations as black people out here in this day and age, do you think Maino would be somebody that would come out and speak for it or actually fight for it? Or do you think he's gonna be like one of these old dudes that's gonna be like, yo, not all white people are all that bad? Like, there's so many of these dudes out here that as long as they got sexual access to the trashiest of white chicks, they're not even getting the bad ones, they're getting the worst ones of them all. As long as they got access to the fat, ugly white chicks, they will sell out the entire population. And I'm sorry, if one of your fetishes is to be a runaway slave to get beaten by white women, I kinda got to chalk you up as somebody that would be in that, man. Like, I lost all respect for Maino. Honestly, I got a couple of his songs on my playlist, man, but they've been holding on by a thread for so long, and they just were waiting on me to go ahead and delete them off. And this is all that I need right here. Honestly, I'm about to go ahead and delete the songs right now while I have it in my mind to do it. Because, bruh, I cannot support any of this. Not by a long shot. None of this is cool. None of it is fun. Using this to, like, for some reason people try to use this as a means of, you know, things ain't bad between the races and all that. Nah, bro. Nah. I am not having that. And man, my playlist is way too big, but I know I'm around it right now. Where is it at? I'm not going to find it. But oh, there we go. There we go. Man, they had a couple good songs on here, man. The Devil on My Shoulder off the Jermaine. That is getting X'd off. The Rappers, where he's talking about how he's not like most of these rappers. Clearly, you're not. Clearly, you are not like well, honestly, you are exactly like most of these rappers. You'll do anything and everything to buck dance, to be with white women, to get your own deal, all of that stuff. You are exactly like these other rappers. That is getting X'd off too. Now, he's off my playlist. Good job, Maino. Great job. Okay. Let's move on to topic number 2. Topic number 2 is the New York Police Department arresting 20 drill rappers out there in the Bronx based on music videos. Did you guys hear about this news story? They called this Operation Drilly. Do you guys remember like years and years ago when, you know, hip-hop police were a myth? Like, that's something that rappers would always talk about. Yeah, the hip-hop police is always on me and stuff. They would put it in all their songs. And a lot of people thought that they were lying and such. But no, it's been clearly obvious for quite some time. They just haven't overtly stepped out in the open until, well, they've been stepped out in the open, but we constantly are seeing it on not on a day-to-day basis, but maybe monthly to by like maybe every 3 months or so, we hear about something that the police is doing specifically targeting rappers. Why? Because it's the hip-hop police. Like, what they did, they arrested 20 drill rappers. They indicted them on 32 different violent crime charges, from murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, assault, and grand larceny. spearheaded by Darcel Clark, a district attorney, but clearly, when you vote for Eric Adams, this is what you get. Mushmouth Eric Adams of New York. All the people out there, like, I know a lot of people here, you're not hip to the politics of what's going on in New York. Eric Adams is the mayor. And because people want to go and vote Democrat, this is what you get. This mushmouth mayor who likes to cry on national TV, well, I guess local TV, about how he wants to bring back cash bail because he doesn't want to be perceived as weak on crime. When you do the actual research into how they took away the cash bail, you realize crime didn't go up at all. Like, for those who don't know, Eric Adams is ex-police officer who wants to be perceived as tough on crime and all that stuff. But what does tough on crime actually mean here in America? Because clearly they're not going out of their way to arrest white people. All of these meth-smoking individuals, all these people doing all kinds of crazy stuff, all of these Asian people in New York that have happy ending massage parlors that we all know is there. Everybody knows is there, but they're not going through and arresting them. No. See, being tough on crime means going out of your way to criminalize anything black. That's what that means. But here's the thing. If you can get 32 different violent crime charges based on drill rap videos that you looked over, if you can get that, if that is the case, then I need Billy Joel, the singer, to be arrested for singing about his heroin addiction. That's drug usage. During a time where it's still illegal to take heroin, ain't it? It's still illegal for all of this, but he got songs openly talking about it. Why hasn't he been arrested? How's about Sting? Sting should be arrested for the song Fragile that he did a long time ago because he's singing about violence. Now, did he do the violence? Who knows? But he made the song about it. Now, there's no evidence for any of this, but yet he should be indicted. If all of these people can get indicted for just music videos, I need to see the evidence that these individuals have had against them in order for them to get arrested over doing music. See, freedom of expression includes violence on the streets. These are certain inalienable rights. Am I right or am I wrong? These are the rights that citizens of the United States should have, that we do have. But for some reason, these rights do not work for black people. See, as I said, freedom of expression includes violence on the streets. Why? Because art imitates life. If you don't want music to be violent, then you need to fix the crime, the poverty, the racism within your police department. Let's not deny racism within the people and within the police department. All of these things are the foundations in which crime is built upon. If you can fix all that, then people really won't be living that harsh of a life, so that they don't have to be in crime. So therefore, people aren't going to be making music about crime. One goes with the other. When you fix those, then you can criminalize people who speak about what's actually happening. But yet, all too often, rap lyrics are used against artists But I have yet to see Marilyn Manson, whose violent lyrics being used against him when he has open sex crimes being alleged against him right now. I have yet to see them bring out a CD of anything Marilyn Manson has been putting out. I have yet to see them pull that out and use that against him. Why is that? See, it's only us and our culture of music understand when you are being targeted and criminalized, because violence is not anything new to music, but it's being held against you in the court of law, and that's exclusively just for us. Okay, on to the next topic. IG model Courtney Taylor. Many people don't realize, some may understand this story. IG model Courtney Taylor, she stabbed her boyfriend to death. Many people don't realize that Courtney Taylor was in some rap music videos. She was in G-Eazy's music video, I do believe. One of G-Eazy's. I'm not the biggest G-Eazy fans or nothing, but she was in one of G-Eazy's music videos. Like, people were getting her, booking her in the culture. See, this story has been reported in a bunch of different ways, but not necessarily in a music side. But let's go break down these points of views of how this story has been told. The first point of view was she murdered this man and she has yet to see a jail. Like, we see the video where there's blood everywhere. She's sitting down, but they let her go. Keep in mind, yes, this is Florida. Florida, where white people can kill black people and walk away free of charge. And they get seen at bars shortly after, getting called out and put on the gram and put on Twitter and all that stuff. People calling her out like, yo, you shouldn't be here in the bar. You just killed your boyfriend. Props to who saw her, recognized her, called her out. Mad props to you for that. But this is the same state, Florida, that arrested a black woman, Marissa Alexander, who fired her gun in the air in order to protect herself. She got sent to jail for 20 years. Potentially. She's potentially in jail for 20 years. Someone that didn't kill nobody. There are laws put in place for her in her situation. It's called stand your ground. You can shoot and kill somebody by standing your ground in Florida and get away with it. That's the law. But yet she didn't even kill nobody. She shot in the air to stop somebody who's attacking her. She getting 20 years. But somebody who we ain't seen, I don't know what happened between them. You can never tell. But if she's feeling well enough to hit the bars, clearly she wasn't the one getting attacked. Is she feeling good enough to go ahead and thought it out and have fun instead of being at home healing? She clearly wasn't standing her ground. She's out here living her best life, killing a man. And the state of Florida is okay with this. Now, keep in mind, personally, I hate to see injustice whenever I see it. I dislike this whole thing. I wish I could fight for this. I wish that I could stand up, fight against it, because this is clearly wrong. But, nah, I don't care. Why don't I care that much about this? because her Nigerian boyfriend hated black Americans. And this is a consistent theme that I've seen, because I mean, I throw parties with a Nigerian DJ in which I be around a bunch of Nigerians, and I see the open disdain that they have for black people. I see it every time I go out there, dude. But this one takes the cake. Like, he got tweets, open tweets, saying that they tried to delete these tweets, but it's too late. Like, he was doing this for so long that people had the receipts on him well before they could actually delete any of this stuff. People knew about this guy and how he hated black Americans, how he said things on how all black women on TV disgraced themselves, how he be calling us Akadas. For those of you who don't know what Akada is, that's the African word for the N-word. If anybody ever calls you an Akada, oh, they disrespecting on the highest regard. Then he goes through and he got tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet talking about how much he loves white women, how much he'll love to teach white women, how much he'll do for white women, how much better the features of the white women are than the black women. And he did all of this buck dancing, tap dancing, just so this white woman that you always wanted to have could vote you, dog. Karma just strikes you when you least expect it now, doesn't it? And as I said, man, I can't stand injustice. I believe it was Martin Luther King that said, injustice is a threat to justice everywhere, something along those lines. And I feel that, but yet there's some things that are just not my problem. Other things that I could just focus more on than trying to stand up for a person who hated me, who hated my people, just because. And now his family is trying to say, you gotta put all of that to the side and just rock with this because we need to get justice. No, we don't. No, we don't. You go ahead and handle that yourself. Maybe if you stand up for the people who's actually out here fighting against this type of situation from happening all the time, then maybe we would rock with you. Maybe there would be justice. But by going about it your way, ain't nothing we can do about it, dog. But so the direction I want to speak on this is, you got to be wary of these IG models, dude, that you try to get in your videos, that you try to get with. You feel me? Like, bruh, rapper G-Eazy probably had no clue that he was in danger of being stabbed to death being around this chick. I mean, it's a strong chance he actually did. So like all these chicks, IG models and all that, when they get flown out and put into the videos, in a lot of cases they doing something to get in there. Ask Cuban doll, 50 Cent's girlfriend, who posted up topless images with her nipples like shaded out, saying muse on it, like she wanted to be a video muse. These are the things that you gotta do in order to get into these videos by popping rappers and such. G-Eazy could have got stabbed up too. Well, he's a white dude, so won't happen for him just as easily as if, like, cause she won't stab him because you going down for that. But some black dude who ain't got the backing of his own people, yeah, you can stab him up and there won't be no nobody's gonna do anything to you. She's in Florida. This is a white woman in Florida. That's how this goes down. Just understand that a lot of these women out here, man, they for themselves, and you do not know all that they will do. Especially when you play the game the way you gonna play the game. You feel me? Like a guy like G-Eazy, probably he got options. And he will express those options, and if she felt played, there was a slight chance that she could have broken bad on him. And we see exactly now how far an individual will break bad. Like Jay-Z said, you think I'm freaking these chicks, right? Nah, I'm trying not to brush against their chests. Catch lawsuits for things like that. Believe that was off of Volume 1. Truer words have not been spoken more. Like, sure, like, you get a lot of access with fame and money and all that stuff, but these women are only giving you access so that they can eat up off of you, so they can show kid and hold you down for the next 18 years, getting checks or something. 1. 2, they can be associated with you so they can clout chase. Like the Baby's chick that he went online and pretty much was clowning and told her that she's just a side chick to the whole world. He had to do that in order to disown her so that she would not be directly associated with him no matter what he does in the future for the next 18 years. Like, you gotta keep everybody at arm's length. If you're going to partake in things like access with these women and all that, you gotta be careful. Hey, you see Drake dropping hot sauce in the condom. Too late, because you already got the porn star baby, in which now you caught up for a long time, and there's gonna be a lot of nonsense to go along with that one. These is all the things that you open yourself up to, that you're going to get, that you could possibly get caught up with, that you got to protect yourself 1000%. This just happens to be the IG model Courtney Taylor. This is the extreme case of it. But yet, you know, when you're dealing with people and you don't have the amount of money or resources and things of that nature that these people clearly do have, like, you push people to that extreme case. So you have to definitely be careful with who you got around you and all the people that you dealing with. You feel me? Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on to the last topic of today. The last topic of today will be Tyler, the Creator, talking about how snippets pretty much just show that you are insecure about your music. He hates snippets all the way around. And you know, that's an interesting thought process, but I feel both sides on this too. See, I understand where he's coming from with this. Like, he's what Tyler is saying, yo, stand on your music that you make. Be confident in yourself, in your decisions, in your feelings for your music, and then push that all the way to the utmost. You feel me? And that is something that's very important. Because, okay, there's a bunch of things that'll sabotage your music career. And, you know, not having the hits and not putting out good music, that's one key thing. That's one key element that'll sabotage your career. But another thing that people really don't realize in terms of everything in life is inaction and hesitation will kill your progress. And no matter what you do, that'll kill your progress just as much as a flop. Because you're sitting around, you're waiting, you're hoping that, okay, the right situation, the planets will align. Your horoscope is going to one day tell you, oh, today is the day where everything that you need comes in line, and then you can make you $1 million in one shot all today. That's not how this goes. There's never going to be a day where everything is perfect. You know everything that you're trying to do. Everything just rolls out and you make the money and you become rich and famous after that. It does not happen that way. It sucks that a lot of people got to go through trial and error instead of actually listening to people who know what they're talking about and being around people who actually can point them in the right direction. But for the most part, either people are too hard-headed to listen or don't have enough connections of people that's actually doing something to actually be pointed in the right direction. So you have to do things by trial and error. So therefore, the first way that you do this may not be the best way to do it. Here's an example. Some of you may have seen the other day, like you might have seen me working on some video work for like some cat videos. It's like you seen me on TikTok looking up a whole bunch of cat videos. Now, the reason why you seen this was because instead of hitting the record button, I hit the live stream button. So therefore, I lost like a whole half an hour worth of time of research of finding cat videos that I'm piecing together for some work. Like, hey, I'm a video editor, bro, and that cat money is some money that I'm not gonna turn down. Take it for what you will. These individuals that be making them cat videos, they be getting a lot of views. I'm not gonna turn down cat money. But so I'm editing up some cat videos. Well, I'm trying to, but I made the mistake of going live instead of recording. One mistake. Second mistake. Piecing it all together. The way I started piecing it all together and trying to promote it so that it can catch the algorithm, that's something that I've been working on for a very long time. Like, why do you think some of my videos go viral? And like some of my videos have gotten into the 50,000s of views and such on a consistent level. I mean, on a weekly basis, I can get me maybe 1,000 views and on one joint that if it's popping, get a little more than that. Like, I've been learning everything as I've been going. I've been studying the game. I found key details in order to make my joints pop. Like, in fact, like Twitter, I've just learned more about Twitter recently to the point that my video that I posted 2 days ago, that's got over 1,000 views. My video that I did about the the Grammys. Both videos that I did about the Grammys. You guys here on YouTube might not have seen both videos, but I did 2 videos about, because I post everything and everywhere. So I did 2 videos about the Grammys. My first video on Twitter did 1,000 views. Not bad. Second video did about 5,000 views so far. Those videos are not doing numbers like that here on YouTube, but they're doing numbers like that out there on Twitter. Why? Because I figured out, Why? Because I figured out some key details that is only exclusive to Twitter that I can use to help run it up. Now, I also got some key details on TikTok. A lot of people don't even know that I got a TikTok, but I got a TikTok. Well, my TikTok, I've been averaging around 500 views per TikTok. Like, there's a reason why I'm doing these short videos every single day, even though the short videos ain't really popping like that on YouTube because the YouTube algorithm sucks. But those same videos cross other platforms are doing numbers. So I'm like, I'm going to consistently do these, but yet I'm always going to maintain my my mixtape reviews on my album reviews, mixtape reviews, reaction reviews, and all that stuff on New Music Fridays. I'm gonna maintain that because that's part of the formula that gets the most views. Like, I got formulas that change from platform to platform to platform. There's an art to this. In order for it all to work, there's arts to this. And with me constantly in motion, constantly putting out videos, that's helping me learn the ropes across all platforms on how to make things pop. If I were like just stuck in my own mind, like, okay, hesitating, I need to figure out the best ways in order to put this stuff out there. I need to figure out the best ways to do any of this stuff. I need to figure out the best ways to make cat videos and all that stuff. Instead of just doing it and then figuring it out along the way, then all my progression that I built over all of these years would have just fell short a long time ago. But yet, I understand my own formulas to get things to pop to a decent degree. But my videos get as many views as the Black News Network that defaulted. Now, given, it's not a great look, but they had, what, $50 million of seed capital to get those videos. I did this with no seed capital. I'm getting the same. Honestly, I got more views and more numbers than they ever did before and after that channel came to a conclusion. I did way better than them over all of this time. My average, because I'm so consistent dropping stuff, my average was right there with them. And I don't have $50 million. If I did have some kind of little bit of funding, my videos would pop so much harder. Now that I am getting better understandings along every lines of all of this stuff, but you know, everything takes time for me to learn. But here's the thing, even if people are against everything that you're doing, like, you guys know how much hate mail that I've gotten over the years for these videos and these things that I've been doing. You guys know how much people dislike me, right? But the fact that I kept pushing no matter what, never lost my progression, I've gotten to this point where I know how to make things pop across a bunch of different platforms, did better numbers than an entire network that flopped all the way around without any kind of budget that they had. But even when people are against what you're doing, if you are pot committed into doing this one thing, and pot committed is a poker term, pretty much saying that, okay, I'm in too deep to turn back now, then you have to push this thing all the way up until its logical conclusion. And that's what Tyler, the Creator, is trying to get past here. That's what he's trying to say. Have faith in your style, have faith in your music, have faith in everything that you doing. Because if you don't, if you hesitate, all of that stuff, you're gonna fall apart. Even if you flop, even if you don't know, even if this ain't the best thing, you still got to go hard at it, because if you do go hard at it, you're going to learn the ropes and you'll be able to continue. Like, you may not get another chance like what you're getting in the mainstream, but yet you'll learn something and you can build from learning something. But here's my thing. Here's the other side of it. Music is mostly business. This is the whole thing that all artists have to come to understand. Why would you want to risk your entire investment on one song that you have no idea if this is going to be the one that people respond to? Feel me? Like, as an artist, you can make thousands of songs. Making a song is not something that is limited to a rapper. That's what rappers do. If this song ain't the one, let's go ahead and make the next one. See if the next one is the one. It's not the one. Let's move on to the next one. But here's the thing. Having that financial backing to get mass promoted in the mainstream industry by your record label, that usually comes once in a lifetime for the vast majority of those who actually are lucky enough to get in that position. So why would you, if you can make thousands of songs, why would you put everything on one boat that could sink? When you got all of these other songs over here that, okay, you can try to run some testers. And that's honestly what snippets are. Snippets are testers. They are like trial runs. They're like when you play a video game and they drop a demo. It's a free demo. You only play but certain amounts of it before they discontinue the demo, then you got to buy the game. Or you look at it like in the new model, like how you got Fortnite and all this stuff. The free to play model, where they let you play the game for free, but it's only but a small part of the game. And then they flood you with other things that you can buy and all that stuff. That's how they make their money, and they doing really well. Or you could look at it in terms of beta tests. Instead of just dropping the game, a game that could have multiple bugs in it, a game that that may not be ready for people to play, something that you could have cleared, something that it may seem obvious to you after the fact that you should have fixed this, but yet when you're so focused on building a game and all the coding and everything that goes into it, certain things go underneath the rug. Certain things you don't know actually went wrong until you do the beta test to realize, oh, this is just not what it is. That's not how we need to go ahead and do this. You feel me? Dropping snippets is the same thing. It's business. It's business to try to help you find exactly what song people are relating to, that people actually are reacting to, something that you are willing to run with, because not everybody has that same emotional attachment to every single song they do, like Tyler the Creator, because Tyler the Creator is a emotional dude that puts his heart and soul into every single song that he does. At least it seems to be that, at least in the content sense of the word. He seems to be one guy that can spend, like Dr. Dre, I will spend years on just one song to get this one right. To have the concept to actually be what I need it to be. That's the type of artist that Tyler the Creator is. Not all artists are like that. Some artists make songs just making songs. Have fun making the songs. They don't necessarily put much meaning behind it. It's more about the feeling that they get from the style that's put onto the beat and all of that stuff. And it can go one way or the other. Is this a song that should be a mixtape song? Is this a song that could be a single? Is this a song that I just like or I rock with? That it can vary. Some people just don't know until they send it out to the other people. It's business. It's not art. Like, okay, put it in this context. How many times have Tom Brady won a Super Bowl when the Patriots were the best team in the league? Like, how many Super Bowls do Tom Brady have? Tom Brady has 6 of them, I believe, right? Let me look that up. He got more than 6. No, he got 7. He got 7 Super Bowl wins. I forgot to include the latest one. 7 Super Bowl wins. of those Super Bowl wins, how many of them was the Patriots legitimately the best team in the NFL? The answer is 2. Like, considering the fact that there were years when they were the best team in the NFL, like the year when Randy Moss was on the team, they were the best team in the NFL and lost the Super Bowl. But there was only 2 Super Bowls out of the 7 that Tom Brady won with the best team in the NFL. So you telling me 5 times they weren't the best team, but they were strategically superior. And by being strategically superior, they won. See, most artists out here in the game, they're not the most talented artists in the game. Like Tyler, the Creator, I wouldn't even say that he's the most talented artist out here in the game. But there's only but a hand, like there's a reason why, like, being number one is number one. There's not very many people who actually reach that number 1 slot. Not very many people are going to actually, like, do what Silk Sonic did and craft the most dominant R&B album just based off of content, singing ability, having the number 1 hit, sweeping the Grammys and all that. Very few people actually do that on a year in and year out basis. So therefore, since the vast majority of artists that are in the music industry will never be the number 1 best artist in the game in terms of content, in terms of skill set, in terms of any of that. 99% of the people that's in the game will never be that 1%. So therefore, they need to use strategies like snippets to gain an advantage so that they can continue to build and find their own success. Because just because you may never be the number 1, win the Super Bowl 7 times, Tom Brady with the best team 2 years out of those 7, you will never be that. But that doesn't mean you can't eat. That doesn't mean that you can't make no money out here. Nah. What part of the game is that? We all want to eat. We all want to be successful. But it just may not be in the cards based off of just raw music for the vast majority of us. So therefore, we have to use the business, use the techniques, use the snippets, use the promotional plans, use the Grammys as promotion, use whatever that's going on that catches the headlines, for good or for bad, doesn't matter. Just like say Maino, who in the news cycle because he wants to talk about being a runaway slave as a fetish, dealing with white women. That's like the worst thing that he could have possibly said for me, because as you guys heard in this live broadcast, that I went on ahead and deleted his songs off of my playlist just now. But are you telling me that his name isn't getting brought up amongst a bunch of circles and stuff now? That they say not all promotion, not all there's no such thing as bad publicity, is the actual saying. He's getting publicity. He's in the news cycles. He hasn't been in the news cycles, especially for his music, for quite some time. And it's not like he was dropping the worst music from year in and year out, because like I said, he has some stuff on my playlist. Excuse me. You are not a slouch if you make my playlist. Basically, he got some good promotion out of this, that he can take it and flip it, maybe. Not towards me. not towards us as foundationals, but he can take that and flip it in terms of the record labels who are looking for that in particular, who wants to promote that. Like, why else do we see a Lil Nas X, who's, I'm not gonna say he's not talented, but he's clearly not of that top 10%. He's clearly in the bottom 10% maybe of the music industry. Well, I'm not gonna go that far. I don't like what he's putting. I don't like what Lil Nas X is doing. I don't like who he's promoting his stuff to. I don't like all the flamboyancy and all of this stuff that he's trying to send to the kids. I don't like none of this stuff. But I'm not going to deny that, you know, he has the ability, the capabilities to make decent records from time in and time out. I'm not going to deny that. But I really dislike him. But that whole agenda that Lil Nas X is putting out there, that's why they are constantly pushing his stuff. If Lil Nas X wasn't along for the ride of the agenda, then he would not be getting promoted like this. And that's how I determine like the quality of the artist. Like, okay, would you get promoted if you weren't with the agenda? Would you be popping if you weren't with the agenda? Like, say, like I was saying, Isaiah Rashad never really got popping like that, but he was with the agenda. That's why he was just, to me, he was a average artist that I was never really that excited for. You feel me? He was with the agenda, but he couldn't really pop. If he wasn't with the agenda, I don't think that he would actually see the deals that he was getting. And I don't think that he would actually be a name brand without all of this. What artists became name brands without the use of the agenda? Nipsey Hussle. And I believe it was Master P that came out saying that he's tired of all the fake Nipsey Hussle love and all that. Well, better not be talking about me, and I love P. You ain't talking about me though, dog. I've showed the utmost of love to Nipsey Hussle from the beginning of me doing these videos, from the original Download Pass channel. But Nipsey Hussle was one who showed you I can do this on my own and get it popping on my own accord. And I'm not down with your agenda. Jay-Z, even though he's down for the agenda clearly on every move that he's made, but starting out, he got it popping with Dame Dash. Dame has never been down for the agenda. He ended up leaving because Dame has never been down for the agenda. But they got it popping. So Jay-Z is a quality act, regardless. And that's why you still hearing like when Jay-Z dropped that verse, man, for the Pusha T song and all that, dude. Like, people still love it. And it was a good verse. It was a good song. Definitely dope stuff, man. Definitely dope stuff. That's what quality acts will do for you in the long run if they are giving the room and the abilities to do what they need to do. It's just the vast majority of these people that's getting put on in the music industry, I will say, they only got there because they cool with the agenda. Same agenda that Bobby Schmurda did all the dancing, buck dancing for. Same agenda that's putting out the worst possible music so that they rappers from Eminem, Mac Miller, rest in peace, but they rappers can come in and try to scoop up the culture. Like all of these agendas, like the music industry, man, they not about making good music. Like I said, this game is about business. That's why they got snippets and all that stuff so that they can make money and all of this stuff, man. It's not about putting out the best music no more. It's never been. It's about building the buzz, about building up your name, getting the money off of them, stealing the masters, so that you can continue to keep the circle, keep bringing in new acts, steal the masters, finance the next one. Even if you're losing money, doesn't matter. We got a windfall of money because not only are we stealing masters, but we're getting over 1,000% off the digital streams. Digital money is way better than what YouTube is paying you, than what Spotify is paying you, than what all of these corporations is paying us. It's not what they're paying these record labels. Record labels are eating really good at this point. People don't realize it yet, though. But it is what it is, man. But let me go ahead and wrap this one on up. How long we been online? We've been online for an hour. That's cool, man. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna go ahead and handle a few other things that I got jumping off today, dude. Appreciate everybody that came through to listen. All the people that's in the playback, everybody that came through. Mixtape album review tomorrow. Who's dropping? I think is Pusha T dropping an album tomorrow? Not entirely sure, but something of interest. I've seen a few projects of interest that's dropping tomorrow. I don't know. I don't have the straight up confirmations for it yet, but it's gonna be something pretty dope. Should be a short in the morning, well, in the afternoon, but we'll see. But there's definitely going to be a review jumping off that night, or it might be a live stream reaction. You never know. Depends on what's the biggest and most hyped thing that's going to be jumping off. We'll see. But again, I appreciate everybody that came through, man. We're gonna keep it pushing. Videos every day, man. Shorts every single day. Album reviews, new music Fridays. Live streams. Now I guess it's Wednesdays until like something important until something big happens that everybody's talking about, like this Maino thing. Like usually I guess I could just hold off until Wednesdays. I don't know. It's a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. I'm just getting better at all of this. That's why a lot of my stuff is starting to do some pretty good numbers across the board. But I appreciate everybody's support, man. Y'all be easy.